Hello, Blitz fans of all ages. It's me, Plumcastle, and today I saw something that I never thought that I would see. The new T77 heavy tank that Wargaming released for 4th of July is out for, not only is it direct sale, but it's for gold direct sale, which is honestly one of the rarest things to actually see. Usually you'll either see it in an event that's really difficult, or you'll see it for real money, or even the worst possibility is in crates. But oddly enough, Wargaming released it for just a solid gold price. Now, it's a bit of an expensive price, as you can see. But, I mean, theoretically, you could get this completely free to play. For example, I've got roughly 29,000, and I've actually gotten almost every single bit of that completely for free. So yeah, you can get this for free, which is amazing to me. I mean, I will not buy this right now. I would definitely wait till this comes a little bit lower in price, but I will go ahead and snag one of the Hall of Fame replays and go ahead and show you just generally how this tank plays. So as you can see here, the T77 does look very similar to the tier 10 T57 heavy. Obviously the fact it's a tier lower first of all, and it's got one less shell, but overall the tank seems to be pretty decent. The reload for just these two shells though is about like 19 seconds on average, which is quite of a long reload. So with this tank, for the most part, it's gonna be a very slow game. Like, you might get a lot of damage, but it's just gonna be super slow, and you're gonna be sitting probably like 80% of your game, which isn't necessarily the funnest gameplay. But, I mean, if it gets damage and it wins the game, I mean, that's good. The advantage, though, is even though you are waiting for such a long time, you can see it was 2.5 seconds that he was out there and he was gone. So there really is an opportunity here to kind of not lose too many hit points, which is really, really helpful. And so even though you are waiting a long time, you can then poke out a little bit later, and then you can spill a bunch of damage in not very long at all, and then kind of come back into cover. And I could see some games really being clutched by this tank. Now, when we look at the armor, it's fairly decent, all things considered. There is that hatch on the top, which can be fairly hard to hit, but I have seen some replays where people have managed to penetrate this in the face. So yeah, I mean, it's not weak, but there are definitely some other stronger tanks. Mobility is to be expected for a heavy tank. It's not terrible. I would say it does look a little bit slow, but then again, with that clip you've got, I mean, it's not too bad. So overall, I would say it's a pretty decent tank. I would say comparing this to, say, something like the Emil 1, which is arguably one of the strongest, if not the strongest, tier 8 clipper tanks. In overall, this tank has just a little bit more DPM. It's not a lot, but it's a little bit. And it also has some better alpha, better penetration. So it's all in all better. And the fact that you're sticking, you don't have to stay out in the open as long as you do with the Emil. I mean, the Emil literally has 3 seconds between each shot, and it has 3 of them. So you're out there for at least 6 seconds. I will say the one thing the Emil has over this thing, though, is armor, and it's a slightly lower profile. But in general, I would say these two tanks are fairly comparable in terms of just how good they can be in the right position. Obviously, they are still different tanks, but all in all, pretty decent tank here. But I would say for 20,000 gold that it is not worth it, just looking at it. I mean, if you think about it, there are tier 10 premium tanks that are cheaper than this. I'm sure this is just expensive because it's the first time it's come out, and of course I mean, it came out for a gold price to start with. I would personally wait. I have a feeling Wargaming is going to sell this again at some point. I mean, it's if you really want to grab it, I mean, 20,000 gold. Some people have clearly already bought it, but for me personally, I wouldn't do it. I would just wait till it comes to be a little bit cheaper. Now, as we can see here with this game being finished up, it has really survived quite well. I mean, the player here has really just managed to just stay behind a wall and really only peek out when he honestly needed to. So overall, really good. I've seen a couple replays now, and it seems like the tank is pretty solid. Damage per minute is okay. I mean, there's really nothing to, in my mind, to complain about the tank other than the price. So are you willing to pay the price? If so, I mean, you're not getting a terrible tank, and if you don't want to and you just want to wait, well, I could see why you would do that too. And so with that, hope you all enjoyed, and as always, have fun, good luck, and happy tanking.